and welcome to Life with Shan. This video is going to be kind of a weekend vlog full of a lot of reading. I have the house to myself this weekend as my significant other is working this weekend, so I figured it'd be a great time to do a reading vlog. On edge of doing 24 hours of consuming books with audiobooks involved. I'll have to work. I work almost every day to get book sleeves out unless I'm traveling. This will just have a lot of bookish content. We'll try to get to 24 hours of consuming books and we'll see what happens. I am in the middle of a lot of books. This doesn't include Babel. I'm in the middle of all of these. It is a very variety of books. I have 2 holiday books and then 2 thriller, almost horror books. I'm definitely a mood reader. I'm gonna try and finish all of these this weekend and hopefully a few audiobooks and maybe another book if I truly get to 24 hours of reading. So right before I started filming this, got my book of the month box in and my latest book depository order of the Bell Jar, which I talk about in my recent video of 10 books in 7 days. Maybe I'll even read the Bell Jar. It's not much, 120 something pages. That will help me reach a goal of 5 or more books in 24 hours. Now, for my book of the month box. For those who don't know, book of the month is a monthly subscription box. I am not sponsored to share this with you. I do love their company. They have a variety of books every month. They do 5 to 7 books. You can pick from those books. The first book is $16 and then add-ons, which you can add to your books, are $10 to $11. They also ship to Canada now. They work hard to have a different variety of books, which I appreciate. They offer books that you can always pick up. You know? This month I got 4 books. Usually you can only get 3, but because it's the end of the year, you get to get up to 4. They have their book of the year selection. Here we go. First book, oh I'm so excited, I haven't opened this yet, is Kiss Her Once for Me. This is a little holiday read. 1 year ago, recent Portland transplant Ellie Oliver had her dream job in animation and a Christmas Eve bookstore meet cute with a woman she fell in love with over the course of a single night. After a betrayal the next morning and the loss of her job soon after, she finds herself choose between the safety of a fake relationship and the risk of something real. LGBTQ in it, a fake relationship to picking a real one, and how they add in the holidays into it. So I'm excited to read Kiss Her Once for Me. Next, which I picked up after reading Daisy Darker in November and then seeing a lot of other booktubers rave about this book, is Alice Feeney's book Rock, Paper, Scissors. Basically they're isolated and the husband has facial blindness. So when the mystery happens, I think it's a murder, he can't figure out who his wife is. Like, other people could dress up and use the context clues to be his wife. His wife could be dead for all we know. And I've heard such great things about it. It is a little thin. It's $2.85. So maybe I'll try to get this one done. Next, which I've also been very excited for, this is my favorite box this year that I've gotten from Book of the Month, is Killers of a Certain Age. Kill or be killed, but they've been at this a long time. And this one is a fun thriller from what I've heard. They've spent their lives as the deadliest assassins, but now that they're 60 years old, 4 female friends can't just retire. A company sends the new assassins after the retired ones because they know too much information. Retired assassins who are 60 years old, I think, get together to make sure they can stay alive. Last but not least is my Book of the Year finalist choice, The Lincoln Highway. My grandmother and an uncle loved this book. I know my grandfather loved The Gentleman in Moscow, which is the same author. This one is thick, but I am very excited to pick it up. I will read you the synopsis. In June 1954, 18-year-old Emmett Watson is driven home to Nebraska by the warden of the juvenile work farm where he has just served 15 months for involuntary manslaughter. Emmett's intention is to pick up his 8-year-old brother, Billy, and head to California. But when the warden drives away, Emmett discovers that 2 friends from the work farm have hidden themselves in the trunk. Together they have hatched an altogether different plan for Emmett's future, to the city of New York. It is kind of thick, but I've heard great things. The books I picked from Book of the Month, because this is the last month of the year, show what their finalists were. Unless we're A Flicker in the Dark, Black Cake, The Love Hypothesis, The Lincoln Highway, Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. The Lincoln Highway as my choice because the only one I had not read. I've read the other one. The winner, unsurprisingly, was Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, which I loved and adored. That is my book mail for today. It is now Friday morning. Today, my plans reading and work-wise are to lay out custom and Kindle sleeves. I want to get out 30 orders. I need to update my TBR count. I haven't been updating that, and I've been buying and reading quite a bit, so I'm interested to see if it goes up or down. Read as much as I can or consume books, so I will probably do audiobooks while I'm working today as well. Some audiobooks I might pick up. I'm torn between Just People, which I have through my library, and then I'm also wanting to listen to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder and Finley Donovan is Killing It because I want to do recap videos of both of them. I am waiting for my Ninth House audiobook to come off hold so that way I can listen to that, do a wrap-up or a recap video before Hellbent comes out in January. So today I'm going to be filming my November wrap-up. I read 22 books in November. Watching this is already out. Joining, like, comment, subscribe. We're in for a fun, busy weekend of hopefully 24 hours of reading, lots of bookish things, and behind the scenes of running a bookish business. Hauls, my library reading that hasn't been my own physical books, and now for book of the month box, I'm at 175 unread books. The end of next year, my goal is to have 50 or less unread books and to keep it that way moving forward. By doing this 24 hours of reading this weekend, I'll be able to get it back under 170. It's very chaotic because I'm filming a lot today. Because when you get a new book, you have to reorganize everything because they're all at capacity. Book nerd problems. And this is my outfit for the day. It's Friday, so I try to wear Grace by Shan clothes because that's when we usually do launches. I'm wearing my giant Grace by Shan shirt that I've worn so many times it's starting to fall apart, and black shorts because I live in Florida, so it's almost 85 degrees today. Now that I have the TBR, I can start reading and working again. I'm going to pick out an audiobook. I'm going to do 2 clock timers. One for how much time I spend listening to audiobooks, and then one for how much time I spend physically reading books. I want to see how much I do for each. Hopefully total is 24 hours or even more. It is Friday at 1 p.m. and I want to do this until Sunday night just to see what I can consume since I am reading and listening to them. This morning I got out 30 orders and now I am working on all of the custom fabric that came in for our custom sleeves today. I love some of these prints a lot, and I do the custom sleeves. I'm going to then cut out a ton of Kindle sleeves. So before I start cutting the custom sleeves and laying out the Kindle sleeves and then sewing and packing things for my Saturday USPS pickup, I have decided to read or listen to Anxious People by Frederick Blackman. I chose this audiobook because I've been wanting to read it for a while, and because I have the physical book on my TBR, so if I listen to it, I can say that I read that book and I can take it off of my TBR. Going to start now, and we'll see how much I can get within this cutting and laying out session of sleeve. And listened to Anxious People for 2 hours, and I'm about 60% of my way through the audio. It's pretty good. There's a lot of different point of views in it. It's a bank robber takes people hostage in the bank in England. Callie's coming upstairs. So while they're taken hostage, they all start talking. You find out about their flaws, secrets come out about their lives, and they learn a lot about each other and the robber, but I just got to a plot twist that I'm excited about. Also appreciate the background of the police officers who are doing the investigation after the hostage situation, because you're learning about them too. This is my first book by Frederick Blackman, and I have heard that he does really well with writing characters, and I appreciate and kind of adore a lot of the character details in this, and just getting to know these people on such a personal level where you feel like you know them in real life. 2 hours of audiobook listening. I still have 22 hours of consuming books to go before Sunday night. I am taking a break for a little bit, going to start sewing the sleeves that I laid out. I'll probably watch Christmas movies or something while I do that. Callie is rolling around on the floor. Callie's been running with me almost every day. She did almost 3 miles yesterday and 2 miles the day before. And then she got a bath last night. So she smells good. She's gonna stare at the book. She's camera shy apparently. You wanna say hi? Callie, look. Look, say hi. For my first physical reading part of the 24 hours, I'm doing a 15 minutes reading sprint with my friend Riley, who's at Paint the Town Red. She's reading Someone We Know by Sherry LaPena. So I'm going to start my own stopwatch on my phone for my physical reading count and then go from there. During my reading sprint and FaceTime with Riley, I read 15 or so, or closer to 14 minutes of Sign Here while Riley read her book, which was a lot of fun. It's going to help me push through the 24 hours of reading. Again, they're not 24 consecutive hours. I'm just trying to spend 24 hours in book world this weekend. I have 2 hours in on audio for Anxious People so far, and now 14 minutes on Sign Here. I was around 50 pages already when I woke up this morning. I'm at page 75-ish. It's really good. It's picking up. Sign Here is very intriguing. It's not like anything else I've read before. A character who works in hell. He's on the 4th floor to get promoted. So to get promoted, you have to make really good deals. They're following one family of 4. They've been following this family for generations because they are a 5-star contract family. In the other chapters, you see each member of the family. So you're learning about them. You're left wondering which one are they going to make the deal with? What's the deal going to be for? And even maybe, are they going to make a deal with all of them? There's also some other things going on with the person from hell. It's very interesting. It is 400 pages. I'm a little deterred by that. Usually the sweet spot's 300 to 350, so 400. I hope I don't get bored partially through, but I'm excited to continue reading it. It is now 7:30 p.m. I need to possibly run. I've been running a lot lately, so I might not run today. I also need to sew about 30 or 40 book sleeves. Might not do much physical reading until later tonight. If I sew book sleeves, I'm going to watch something because it's hard to hear audiobooks while I'm sewing with the headphones that I have. That's it for right now. Hopefully I can get another hour of either audiobook or physical reading in tonight. That way I'll be at around 3.5 hours of reading. It's just like a kickstart to Saturday and Sunday. We'll see. Really hoping to get 24 hours, but right now I'm not sure if I'll be able to do it. It is now 10 p.m. I'm going to walk my dog for a little bit. Then I'm going to listen to the audiobook for about 10 more minutes of Anxious People. And hopefully I can get another hour of Sign Here, and then I'll update you guys in the morning of whether or not I was able to do all of that. Good morning. It is now Saturday around 7 a.m. and last night I was able to read quite a bit. I got to 2 hours and 40 minutes on my audiobook. I'm really enjoying Anxious People. I will probably finish this morning. And then physical reading, I got to 1 hour and 51 minutes. So I'm at around 4.5 hours of reading right now. For the physical reading, I read Sign Here some more. I'm about halfway through Sign Here. It's very good. The plot is thickening, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm glad I was able to pick this one up. I read about 120 pages of Sign Here last night. And then I picked up All I Want for Christmas, which I was already a few pages into, and now I'm about 40% of my way through it. I'm really enjoying All I Want for Christmas. I usually get annoyed with Christmas reads, so this one hasn't annoyed me yet. It's fun, it's cute. Essentially, they're both singers. His name is Max. He is a famous singer trying to bring back his career. And Sadie is an up-and-coming singer, and they're both on a singing contest show paired together for a duet, and then they have to fake date to continue their careers. So it's interesting. I read Maggie Knox's book, The Holiday Swap, last year, which was 2 twins swapping. One twin lived on the East Coast of the US, and the other twin lived on the West Coast, and they swapped places. I appreciated how it went deeper than just a holiday romance, so I'm hoping that this one does that as well. I'm at about 4.5 hours of books. The goal is to get to 10 or 11 hours more of reading today. Right now, I'm about to go work. When after I work, I'm going to go and get coffee. So Riley, who I did the reading sprints with last, lives in North Carolina and I live in Florida, but we try to hang out every now and then. We're both going to go and get coffee at the same time, FaceTime throughout it. It is fun. We enjoy one another's company. Afterwards, I'm going to work some more, and after that, hopefully I can knock out Anxious People and maybe even another audiobook. I am now at Starbucks hoping to read for about an hour with Riley and other cars. Yeah, there's Riley, but I also bring my own cup because you get 10 cents off and then 25 stars every time you bring your own cup. Good deal. I'm reading Sign Here and All I Want for Christmas still. I'm hoping to finish maybe both of these today, as well as Anxious People on audio. It is now 3 p.m. on Saturday. I have read or listened to about 5 hours of audio. I finished Anxious People, which was really, really good, honestly. It was my first book by Frederick Bach. The character development was good. The portrayal of anxiety was really nice. Essentially, there's a hostage situation. Someone robbed a bank, ran and hid in an open house for a condo. The running line is that these are the worst hostages ever. It was funny, it was sweet, it was eye-opening. I really appreciated his writing. Everything about this book was really fun. I would probably sit down and read it again in a year or two because I enjoyed it so much. If you're looking for a Frederick Bachman book to start with, I recommend this one. It's not part of the Beartown series or anything. I also know a lot of people love A Man Called Of, so I do have that one on my TBR as well. I started The Girl on the Train on audio because I am trying to work through my physical TBR as well. It is really good so far. If you haven't read this book that I personally have owned for over a decade, I got it from my mom when I was in high school. The girl who takes a commuter rail every single day, and she sees a family every single day off in the distance when she stops at one of the train stations. However, something happens one day, and then all of a sudden she's part of a police investigation. They're wondering if she's a reliable witness, and it's very intriguing so far. It's not what I thought it was going to be. I think I had mixed this one up with Gone Girl in my head, which I haven't read that either yet. Expecting more of a Gone Girl vibe. I'm glad I went into this not knowing the synopsis beforehand, because now it's just as thrilling. I'm 5 hours through audiobooks, and then I'm about 2.5 hours into physical reading. I'm hoping to finish Sign Here today and possibly another book. I did get home from coffee with Riley. I listened to Anxious People and The Girl on the Train while I worked on order. I read for a little bit and I fell asleep. I'm going to read some more, hopefully get an hour or so in. Then I'm going to start working again, which I'll do the audiobook. I am at 7.5 hours so far, and it's Saturday evening. I really wanted to be at 12 to 15 hours tonight. So basically everything I do the rest of the day needs to have an audiobook or a physical book happening. I'm hoping for the best. I really think I can still push for 24 hours. In this, I have already finished one book, Anxious People. I will probably finish Girl on the Train tonight or tomorrow, and maybe I'll finish another book tonight or tomorrow. I'm feeling good. I napped, so I'll probably stay up late, which means I can get in more hours of reading or consuming books. Right before I sat down to start my next physical reading session, I got book mail from HarperCollins, the publisher, and it is Madame Clairvoyant's Guide to the Stars, Astrology, Our Icons, and Ourselves. Thank you, HarperCollins. I'm excited to check out this read. I'm not a huge astrology person, but it does dive into the figurative or popular stars in our lives, such as Mr. Rogers, Aretha Franklin, and from poets in Cancer to punk singers in Scorpio, to show us what the stars say about who we are. Combining heavenly insights with the earthly wisdom of a writer living an examined life, Madame Clairvoyant's Guide to the Stars invites us all to know ourselves better and see one another more clearly. I'm excited to eventually read this one and then probably gift it to a friend. Now we're going to go and we're going to try and read for about an hour of All I Want for Christmas. I just finished reading All I Want for Christmas. I am now at 4 hours of physical reading. I read for about an hour and a half and it was so good. I read the acknowledgements at the end and I found out that Maggie Knox is 2 authors writing in one pen name similar to Christina Lauren. Their writing style together was just beautiful. I really appreciated the behind the scenes of the musical industry, how the plot line thickened throughout the story. There were the typical miscommunication struggles which you get in romance novels that I truly struggle with. I have a bachelor's degree in communication and conflict, and I strive to really communicate well in my own personal life and relationships. So to see other people go through that in a book, I get really kind of frustrated with it. However, the family elements, the character development, the self-growth, and just the rekindling of relationships throughout this novel and the grief, this book was beautiful and I really enjoyed it. I think I liked it more than I liked the holiday swap last year. If you haven't added the All I Want for Christmas to your TBR yet, you definitely should. It has a blurb on the front of it from Taylor Jenkins Reid, and it says, an utterly adorable, pitch-perfect romance, and that is exactly what it was. It was so cute and sweet. I really appreciated it. I hope you pick up Maggie Knox, either the Holiday Swap or All I Want for Christmas, because I really enjoyed both of them. I have 4 hours of physical reading. I want to get in maybe 2 or 3 more hours of an audiobook, maybe even an hour of Sign Here before tomorrow morning. Good morning! It is now Sunday at 5:30 a.m. I was able to get 6 hours of physical reading time last night while finishing Sign Here. So about 200 pages of Sign Here last night before going to bed, and I finished it. It was very good. It's not like anything else I've read before. It is also published by Berkeley, which is a romance publisher, which surprised me. I noticed that about halfway through while reading it. I was hoping there'd be a little bit more romance after that. Would highly recommend Sign Here since it is published by Berkeley. That means that you can use it for a Penguin Random House reward and get points for your purchase. It's also a Book of the Month book, and you can add that onto your box that I had got at the beginning of this episode. It gave My Best Friend's Exorcism vibes, and I don't know if that was just because it's a person from hell, which essentially reminds me of an exorcism. Also how it was people on vacation and it followed a few teenagers and secrets from the past. So I did really appreciate this. It wasn't gory or horror-esque at all. It was just really intriguing. There's lots of mysteries. I don't want to give away too much because it was really good and I'm glad I didn't know too much going in. So if you do pick it up, I hope you comment and let me know, and I hope you enjoy it too. After Sign Here, I read a little bit more of Always in December. Before this weekend, I was 200 pages in. I'm hoping to finish this tonight. It is 400 pages, so I would have about 200 pages left. Always in December is a holiday read by Emily Stone. You follow Josie, who her parents passed away on Christmas Eve years back, and every Christmas Eve she writes a letter to her parents saying, essentially, I miss you. And however, right before Christmas one year in England, she bumps into Max. They have a weekend romance, and she doesn't see Max again for years until New York City, and she bumps into him again. That happens a few times, I believe, and I think it circles back to the letter that she writes for her parents every year. I've seen a lot of mixed reviews on this one on Goodreads and on Bookstagram. I'm hoping that it gets me through the rest of this challenge. I am still in the middle of The Girl on the Train. I'm hoping to finish that today and maybe one other audiobook as well.
I am at about 11 hours of reading and I want to hit 24 hours before tonight, hence why I'm up so early. Today's going to be a lot of audiobook listening while I work, a lot of physical reading, which I'm not upset about.
Now, 1 p.m. on Sunday, I am 8 hours into audio reading or listening, 6.5 hours into physical reading, which puts me with about 9.5 hours left, and it's already 1 p.m. Be awake for a long time today. I did finish on audio The Girl on the Train. It was fun. It was a good, do you have an unreliable narrator type of psychological thriller. It had a great plot twist at the end, and then I liked how the book came all together. This is a pretty older psychological thriller. There is a movie for it, but I do recommend picking up either the book or watching the movie with a lot of different things happening and a lot of different point of views. You follow the woman who rides the train and saw the incident happen. Then you follow the woman who was murdered and you see her past point of view. And then you also see another point of view in it. And it goes back and forth between timelines. You wonder who's reliable, who's not. There is alcoholism, death, infidelity throughout The Girl on the Train. A few trigger warnings for you. After listening to and completing The Girl on the Train, I then started listening to It Happened One Summer, which is essentially a Schitt's Creek type of romance. She's a rich girl, she gets sent to a small town, and she has to kind of learn how to do things on her own. I'm at a point where she's trying to cook and she's just started a fire, and the local guy is guiding her through cooking. It's kind of like your mean one, Matthew Prince. Essentially, it's that same kind of trope. Rich person gets sent to a small town to regroup. I'm still having about 150 pages left of All I Want for Christmas. I'm hoping to finish that one today, as well as It Happened One Summer. Maybe make another dent in another book. I do have about 9.5 hours left of reading. I really hope I can make it through these 24 hours. I finished for the 24-hour readathon, and this is my current. I just hit 7 hours and almost 45 minutes of physical reading time. I'm at 8 hours and 15 minutes of audiobook time. That puts me at 16 hours of book consumption. I have 8 hours to go. It is 2:30 p.m. on Sunday. I'm going to sew for a while and work on orders, so hopefully get in a few hours of audiobook listening. During that physical reading session, I just finished and cried my way through Always in December. It was 400 pages. It got a little draggy around page 250 to 3. I think it could have been 350 pages. If you like long lost lovers, sad crying endings, I recommend Always in December for you. I have another book by Emily Stone that I'm excited to read this holiday season. I'll probably read The Bell Jar next, maybe even get this one done. It's a little over 200 pages, so I think I could finish and read this one tonight, get an audiobook of It Happened One Summer completed, and that would put me at 7 books within a 24-hour time span that I started on Friday around noon until Sunday at midnight. I'm really hoping to crank it out. I wish I had this kind of momentum at the beginning of the year, because then it would have made it easier to reach my reading goal this year. But maybe I'll just try this out next year. Got The Bell Jar, It Happened One Summer, and 8 more hours of reading. Let's go. It is now 5 p.m. on Sunday. Callie has eaten dinner and I have finished It Happened One Summer. This was not my type of read. It was essentially, you're a mean one, Matthew Prince, but much steamier, a summer romance instead of a holiday romance, and with a straight couple. Lots of spicy scenes. She is a rich girl, she does something wrong, and so she goes to a small town and she ends up falling in love with the town and this guy in it. I really recommend this one based off of my taste, but if you like Tessa Bailey or steamy reads, I say go for it. It does what it's meant to do. It's meant to be an easy, smooth read, romance. So give it a try if this is your type. It's just not my type of read. Finish this on audio. I am hoping to get a few more hours of audiobook done because I'm only at 10 hours and 25 minutes audio-wise, and I'm at about 8 hours of physical reading. So I still have a few hours left, and it's already 5 p.m. I'm gonna be up kind of late tonight and really pushing it. I'm going to start The Wish on audio by Nicholas Sparks. I'm hoping this will get me to book number 7. I'm done working for the night and doing laundry and everything. I'm then going to pick up physically the bell jar, and I might hit 7 or 8 books for this. I know I started this challenge having already been a portion of the way through some of the books I started with. However, Always in December and Sign Here were 400 pages, which is about 100 pages larger than my typical read. And this one is 200 pages, so I guess it all evens out in the end. Either way, I am finishing, or I am going to finish 7 or 8 books, hopefully, as long as I can actually do the full 24 hours. I don't know if I'm going to say I read 7 or 8 books because I did start some of them before this challenge. Really enjoying it so far. I'm able to make myself relax and read and still feel motivated. Usually on the weekends, I have a hard time sitting down and reading because I feel like I should still be working. I know a lot of us feel that way these days, where when we're not being productive, we feel like we're being lazy. However, it is important to have a self-care time. So this challenge has helped me feel productive while relaxing and reading. It's keep motivating me to read and enjoy books, and instead of just listening to music or watching TV while working, I'm able to listen to audiobooks. I do have big headphones I've been wearing when I'm sewing, because the headphones I usually wear go right in front of your ear because they're my running headphones. That way you can hear cars when you're running. I can also hear the sewing machine when I'm sewing. So I've been using my partner's big headphones and probably have headphone hair. It's okay, it's all part of the fun. Still got a ways to go. Hopefully we reach 24 hours before midnight. Either way, if I'm close, I'm gonna be staying up until I reach 24 hours. Wish me luck. I'm almost done with The Wish by Nicholas Sparks on audio. I'm really enjoying it. I appreciate the different point of views and timelines in it. I really like that in books. It keeps me feeling involved and more aware of what is going on. It helps me from zoning out while I read. While I'm listening to The Wish, I am taking a break. I'm getting really sleepy since it's dark out now. I've had 3 cups of coffee. I usually have one every few days. So I'm getting a little hazy in the head and I'm really sleepy. I'm going to start physically reading. I'm going to play Christmas music. Hopefully that keeps me awake. I'm gonna start the bell jar and see how it goes and if it keeps me up. If not, I'm picking up rock, paper, scissors because I've been wanting this one for a while, and I've heard it's fast-paced and thriller-esque, so I'm hoping that keeps me awake. Not sure how much vlogging I'm going to get done because if I read from now until I hit 24 hours, it's going to be 11 p.m. About an hour of leeway time to make sure I hit 24 hours of reading between Friday to Sunday at midnight. I'm really gonna crank things out. I'll update you guys closer to the end. So it's either gonna be the bell jar or rock, paper, scissors, and I'm hoping to finish The Wish on audio. I'm gonna get 2 more books. Let's do it. It is 11:10 p.m. on Sunday and I did it. I did 12 hours and 1 minute of physical reading and I really enjoyed this. It made me relax more and prioritize taking time for myself, and then I was also able to work a little bit while listening to audiobooks. Just enjoyed it all. I did not finish The Wish on audio or rock, paper, scissors. I also only got about 40 pages into the bell jar until I started to fall asleep a little bit just because I'm burnt out. So I then picked up rock, paper, scissors and I am flying through it. I only have about 60 pages left. The whole time I couldn't decide whether the husband was playing the wife, blaming the facial blindness, or if the wife was playing him. I've realized I was the one getting played the whole time, and there's still 60 pages left, so there's plenty of time for more plot twists, and I love Alice Feeney. To celebrate my 24 hours of reading and one weekend I am going to go to Culver's with my significant other who worked all week. Morning, I'll update you guys on everything. I appreciate you watching this vlog. It was my first and longest one, so I'm sure it was a little hectic, and I appreciate you being there with me at the beginning of my YouTube journey. Hope you'll stick around. It is now Monday and it is my lunch break. I finished both The Wish and Rock, Paper, Scissors this morning. I did not get these completed. Oh, hi Callie. I did not finish these within the 24 hours or the Friday to Sunday, but I didn't want to leave you guys hanging on my thoughts on them. Rock, Paper, Scissors was not what I expected. I thought they would be at a hotel and there was a murder, and he has facial blindness, so he had to figure out if who he was talking to was his wife or not. It was more of an isolated cabin type of thing in the woods. Someone else there, a lot of mysterious things happen, and his facial blindness does take a role in it. I highly recommend this. Alice Feeney did a great job. I love how she incorporates writers and books into her thriller. Continuous plot twist after twist after twist. I really enjoyed Rock, Paper, Scissors. I think I enjoyed it more than I liked Daisy Darker. I also finished on audio The Wish by Nicholas Sparks. If you want a tearjerker, this one is for you. You follow a woman who is terminally ill with cancer and has a young assistant who works for her in her art gallery. They have grown close to one another, and it's Christmas time, and she starts to tell him about the one summer that she fell in love. She was young, I believe she was 16, and she was pregnant. She got sent off to her aunt's house on an island. She then fell in love with a local boy. The story continues through that, and the retelling of it to the assistant of hers. It goes back and forth in timeline and in perspectives. I really appreciated this one. It was sad. It was a typical Nicholas Sparks book. I liked this more than I liked The Return, which he published a few years ago as well. After The Return, I kind of felt like this was not for me. Maybe Nicholas Sparks' writing isn't for me anymore, and I know he's kind of controversial. I already had this on my shelf. I wanted to read it. If you liked In 5 Years by Rebecca Serle, I recommend The Wish. Then the 24 hours of reading, I did complete 6 books. Only one of them I would not recommend if you have similar reading taste as me. The rest were pretty good. I really enjoyed Sign Here, which was very unique, and All I Want for Christmas was a fun Christmas read. If you want a more heartfelt, sad, make you cry Christmas read, I recommend Emily and Stone's Always in December. If you want a kind of classic psychological thriller, I recommend The Girl on the Train. This one is good just to have for conversations because I feel as though a lot of people has read or seen the movie Girl on the Train. You can't really go wrong with Frederick Bachman and Anxious People. This one comes highly recommended from others as well as me. It was a good weekend of reading. I am now 8 books in for December, and it's only the 5th. I'm hoping to finish The Bell Jar today and finish the year off strong. I also might do a 24-hour straight readathon later on this month, so if something you're interested, let me know in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching this lengthy and kind of hectic video. I haven't done anything like this before. I know it's going to be a learning curve for me. I'm excited to continue practicing editing, filming, and learning what works for me here on this channel. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you have a great day.